What's up, y'all? You saw from the title, Stream of Consciousness number 3. This time, we decided not to wait 2 years or 2.5
to bring it back.
2 or 2.5 years to bring it back for our grand episode 3. Alex is on one today. I just want everybody out there to know that. And yeah, we're hitting it with another Stream of Consciousness because things have been pretty crazy for really, honestly, all of us involved in the making of this podcast. Life has been particularly crazy lately. I've been talking to some people in the Discord, like, you know, stuff's just been really wild. So we were like, let's just keep it chill. Let's have a Stream of Consciousness. Let's update our lovely listeners and viewers on like what's been going on. And also, I just kind of feel like there's some stuff that I just want to like talk about in general, stuff that's been weighing on me. You know, I've had like kind of a tough 2024 so far. I mean, things about it have been great. Other things about it have been not so great. It's been very challenging, but we have some exciting news.
Well, why don't you go ahead and share it already? You've been teasing me for like 2 minutes.
Hit me with a drum roll then, drummer. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it finally happened. Your boy has moved to Wilmington. Yeah! I live in Wilmington now. As of this very moment, it's official.
That's so freaking
it's crazy,
man. Yeah, and it like literally came together in like 3 weeks.
Yeah, it all happened very, very, very quickly. So technically, for the moment, I am not like moved in, but your lovely co-host has offered his home to me. I'm staying with Ryan for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I like to think of it as like a boot camp for fun.
you have been saying, you keep saying that. Okay. You've said that so many times now, and honestly, I don't even know if I'm like fully in on it. Could you describe to me what you mean?
Well, dude, it's like boot camp. You know, you go away from home. You know, you leave the wife and kids at home.
I don't have kids.
Sugar Bear and Jinx.
Okay. Yeah, Binky Jinx.
Binks.
Yeah.
I said Jinx. And, you know, you leave home and, you know, it's just, you're not like doing army training. We're going to be having fun.
Right. So I guess the thing that I'm confused about is the phrasing. Boot camp for fun. Does that mean I'm learning how to have fun?
Oh, I'm going to show you lots of things.
You have not known fun until now.
Really?
You're going to learn fun.
Okay. What are you going to show me?
I wasn't invited.
You're making these claims now. You're saying
I just live here.
You live like 4 miles away, man. You can come over at any moment, but you won't.
Oh.
Drag his ass.
I'm going to drag him.
Yeah. But, it all came together very, very quickly. And I just kind of want to talk about it a little bit.
Dude, it was like 3 weeks ago. I'm going out to breakfast, and you're like, call me. And I call you, and you're like, dude, I got a job in Wilmington. And 3 weeks later, here you are. It was like that. It just materialized.
It really did. And I think that it kind of needed to happen this way. It almost feels like the universe is kind of guiding me in this direction, is guiding things to happen this way, because the like analogy that I keep using is it's like ripping a Band-Aid off. Mm-hmm. It's like, and you know, that's like very scary. Like how quickly everything is moving. It's honestly pretty stressful and scary. So I just want to talk a little bit about it. I like the idea of being open with our listeners and viewers and like sharing the hardships, sharing, you know, the shit that we're going through in life, because life is very hard sometimes and it gets dark sometimes. And like sharing your stories with people, it helps them. It could potentially, hopefully help them see like it's temporary. You're going to come out on the other side like unscathed, just fine, in a much, much better place in your life. So just to give like the quick breakdown, for a lot of you might know, I've talked about it before, but for the past year, I've been working with my brother. Shout out bro, Robbie. Love you, dog.
Shout out Robbie.
Yeah. I've been working with him doing lawn care, like something that I never ever saw myself doing. I didn't think I was physically capable of doing that. I also thought it would just suck ass, like just be really miserable and terrible. But like it was in almost every way so awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
I just kind of want to interrupt you on that.
please.
One of my
It's your show.
Yeah, it is. One of my favorite quotes, and I'd have to find it to tell you who said it, but one of my favorite quotes is that you suffer more in your imagination than you do in reality.
Yeah, I heard that quote too.
And I love that quote, and that perfectly aligns with what you're saying, Nick.
Honestly, I feel that in more ways than one. That applies to kind of like a lot of what I'm going through lately. I have kind of, not to jump too far ahead, but like the last few weeks have been quite dark and quite difficult. I'm in a much better place now. Right now, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling amazing.
Oh, that was Seneca, by the way, who wrote that.
Seneca,
the Stoic, I think.
Stoic philosopher?
Yeah.
Epic. Okay.
Never heard of him.
Roman philosopher Seneca said that.
Oh, Roman. Ugh. I just know he loves like everything Rome and
Well,
Roman.
he's Italian.
You're right.
Somewhere up.
Where's
in
the
there.
freaking gabagoo?
That's Sopranian, bro. That's different. But
Yeah.
anyway, the lawn care stuff, like, yeah, I didn't think I could do it, but my brother called me. He was like, "Yo, I heard you just lost your job." That happened very suddenly too, like almost exactly a year ago. Like this time last
It was
year.
March.
Yeah,
It was in March.
it was
Yeah.
like, I think I actually lost my job in like almost exactly a year ago.
Right.
Like to the date, mid to late February. I lost my like at home job, which was like a fun job. It was all right, but it was the management was awful. Whatever. My brother calls me. He's like, "Yo, I heard you need some work. I need help." And my first reaction was my imagination. Like Alex said, it started going wild. I was like, "Oh, I can't do that. That sounds fucking lame. That sounds terrible. I don't blah blah blah. All this stuff. Every reason why I shouldn't do it."
Mm-hmm.
And then for some reason, out of my mouth just came like, "Hell yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, sure, sounds great." I don't know. Like everything in my head was like, no, but I just said like, "Yeah, sure, why not?"
That's that inner drive. You know what I mean? Like your fight or flight is like you knew you had to do it, even though you were worried you couldn't.
Which has been, yes, you're absolutely right. That has kind of been like happening a lot lately.
Yeah.
Like my mind is going crazy with like the anticipation and the negative thoughts and like the, just a lot of negative self-talk and you can't do it, you're not good enough, this kind of shit. But then my body and my mouth and like my actions are almost just like automatically doing the opposite.
That's resilience.
Go into that a little bit.
That would suggest to me that you're just a resilient person. Like even in your head, you're like, I can't do this, but you're just like, just freaking gritting your teeth and just doing it. Even though it's like scary, it's tough. It's like the definition of resilience. Like you have no choice. You have to do it, and you're rising up to the occasion.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that don't have that.
Yeah, and I have felt very grateful lately that I have been able to do that for whatever reason. Because, like, I'm almost 30 now, and for...
Oh, yeah, dude, that's coming up in, like, a few months.
Yeah.
3 months, basically.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm almost
That's
a big...
wild.
I'm almost a big
And
boy.
you're going to live here, dude? We're going to go hard for that.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, we're going to go hard for that.
Yeah, we got to do something fun. I had the thought, like, maybe, like... Well, I shouldn't say it on the show. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
But anyway, most of my life, honestly, like, the negative self-talk and the stuff that's been going on in my mind dictates what my body does and how I navigate life. And it has stopped me at every turn from reaching for something better, or taking life seriously is another huge thing. And I don't know what changed or when or how or whatever, but I attribute a lot of it to us doing this show together. And, because there was tons of that stuff present when we were talking about doing the show.
Right.
Like, you won't be able to do it.
Like before we started.
Yeah. Like, you won't be able to do it, or you won't.
I had the same thoughts, dude.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
We
were there.
Yeah. We had talked about
I was
yeah.
a lot more vocal about it.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, those feelings were very present, and I was like, we won't continue doing it, blah blah blah, whatever, all this negative self-talk.
It'll be a phase.
Yeah. And then when we just kept doing it and knocking it out and hitting all these milestones and doing all this stuff, it was like, like I can actually do things. Like I can achieve the goals that I set for myself.
Mm-hmm.
I think, Alex, you met me around the time that we started the show. We had met a little bit before then, but like, I don't want to speak out of turn or anything, but I kind of feel like a slightly different person now than I was then.
Same. Like for me and you.
Yeah, I feel like then I was very like, I was like almost anti-driven. I was very like, whatever, take nothing seriously. It's all bullshit, blah, 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 blah. Almost like, not really like nihilistic. Apathetic is maybe a good word for it. Just kind of just like, whatever, and maybe even like more negative back then or whatever. But I think that doing the show consistently has helped with that a lot. Then another major milestone was Twice Born. That was another thing that, like, I mean, we have been talking about doing that for a decade, for such a
longer, honestly.
Yeah, it really,
like 15 years.
Right, yeah. Like, we just talked about it and talked about it for endlessly for years and years and years and years. It never came to fruition. And then, boom, like magic, out of nowhere, we made it happen. And, like, we have this EP that we're so proud of, and like that was another huge major boost. So maybe it was those things. Maybe it was me actually knocking out these goals and whatever for the first time that gave me the ability to override all the negative self-talk. So fast forward to a few months ago. So with lawn care, the thing is like when the weather's good, you got plenty of work.
Yeah.
I was seeing my family every day, spending tons of time with my brother. I was outside. I was losing weight. I was staying active. I was in the sun. All of these positives, all this amazing stuff. The money wasn't great at all, but I was like, I can excuse that because my bills are paid and all of these other positive things are happening, Then the first hurdle, the first big slap in the face was, it was like around August of last year. Out of nowhere, my apartment complex is like, yeah, you're going to owe us like another $200 a month. And it was like, okay, I can't afford that, like at all. Not even close. So we had to scramble to move out of that place. Luckily, the universe provided a house for Casey and I to rent, and it was amazing. Then the winter really hit. And then the work like dried up.
Yeah.
Like for a while, we had like no work.
But then didn't your rent go up on your house after living there for a few months too?
After the first month, yeah. The guy that we had, it was kind of like an under the table arrangement sort of thing for living in that house. And yeah, like after the first month, it was like, oh, actually, I'm not going to be able to afford that price, so you owe me more money. It was like, okay, great, awesome, whatever. But it was still like way cheaper than our apartment was. Mm-hmm. So fine, cool, whatever. We'll take it.
Then the work dried up.
Yeah. Then winter hit. The work dried up. I'm not working. I'm not making money. That's when the real stress and the negativity and all of that stuff, like, to be honest with everybody out there and completely transparent, like the past like good 6 months have been very, very tough. Like the darkest time of my life. Very, very tough. Very stressful. Panicking all the time. Anxiety at an all-time high. Depression at an all-time high. Just tough. And like, thank my lucky stars that I have the most wonderful, supportive, amazing wife. She's my rock. I could not have done it without her. She is I couldn't have done any of it. She's so supportive of me and my friends and you guys and this show. And I had so many things to be thankful for.
To like keep guiding you forward.
Absolutely. That it was like the light in the dark, it was absolutely like my saving grace. through this very, very dark time. And so I'm so thankful. And I'm very thankful for the both of you. You know, you
Appreciate
guys,
that, dude.
You guys kept me grounded, kept me positive.
Kept you busy with stuff
Yeah,
to do.
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
That helps.
And doing the show has always been such a huge boost to every time I come here and we sit in this room and we do this show. It's like recharging my battery.
Right.
You know,
I'm exactly the same. If it wasn't for this show, I would have felt like, well, what do I even have to live for?
It's crazy.
Just going to work.
Yeah, it's crazy that it, like, just sitting here and talking into these microphones does that much.
Yeah.
For us emotionally.
We never anticipated that part of it.
Never. And it's potentially like one of the best like things to come from this, you know, for me. Sorry, my brain's a little foggy because one of the things that had just happened was I got COVID a couple weeks ago. It's
yeah, it does make your brain foggy.
Yeah,
nah, you're doing great.
It has just been thing after thing after thing. So anyway, the work dried up. So I start looking for, like, what can I do? How can I get myself in a better position? How can I make some more money? How can I just get things, you know? I wasn't even thinking anything about moving to Wilmington. That just seemed like such a
impossible
in
that time.
Yeah, so far-fetched. I was like, there's just no way. That's just not going to happen. So let me just think, what can I do in Fayetteville? How can I get in a better position where I'm at? You know, whatever. Start applying for places. Talked to one of our good friends, Blake Powers.
Shout out, Blake.
Big old shout out.
He's a super mega Omi.
I swear I'm gonna kiss him on the mouth next time I see him. I swear. He's
gonna fly out this year, probably summer.
Are we gonna have him on?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's just getting married in April, so it's just
big congrats.
Gotta be after that.
Big congrats.
Yeah.
He works in IT, which I have experience. I have years and years of experience working in IT. It's been a while since I've done it though. And I didn't honestly know how far my experience could get me. He offered, like, dude, let me look at your resume. Like, we'll see, like, because we would have conversations about it. And he'd be like, dude, if you're like not bullshitting me, if the experience that you are telling me you actually have, like, you can go get a job. So he helped me with my resume. He helped me, like, what type of jobs I need to start applying for, whatever. And so I was applying to a bunch of places in Fayetteville, but then this little thought in the back of my head was like, just see.
Just apply in Wilmington. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you told me that. You were like, I'm going to apply for some jobs in Wilmington. I'm like, sweet, dude.
Yeah.
And then like a week later, I get the call. I got a job in Wilmington. And I was like,
what? Yeah.
This is real?
Yeah. It was, I had the thought in the back of my head. And of course, with that comes all the negative. You can't. That's not going to happen. Why even try?
Then you get COVID right after you get the job.
Oh my God.
Oh, we forgot to even mention. You were wondering like how are you going to make the fees, and then your supervisor calls you and is like, can you start 2 weeks early? I'm like, come stay with me, dude.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I was going
camp fun.
Yeah. Boot camp. Yeah, camp fun.
Boot camp fun. I still don't get it,
brought
but
his
I
ex.
love it.
Well, because we're going to be just like land partying it up
Yeah.
pretty much every night.
I love it. So yeah. And I didn't know how I was going to pay for any of this move or getting here or any of that stuff. And then my new boss calls me, I need you 2 weeks early. And then it's like, wait a minute. That means I'll have a full paycheck. And like the money is actually pretty good. It's more money than I've ever made, which, it's not like crazy by any means, but to me, it is the most I've ever made.
It's a perspective shift.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so that one little paycheck is going to help us tremendously with all of our moving costs and all of this stuff. Yeah. So like getting all this stuff figured out and whatever, got COVID. And that was like the ultimate bottom, like darkest, lowest point, because when you're sick, when your body is sick, your mind,
your mood is affected. Yeah, I'm the worst for that. Like
really?
When I feel bad, I'm like, don't bother me.
Oh,
because I feel bad. You know what I mean? Like even mood wise.
Bro, I feel bad when the sun doesn't come out.
Dude, honestly, like that is funny,
I never thought about that.
but he is spitting hard facts right now.
Yeah.
But this is the first year since Olivia's known me where my seasonal affective hasn't really kicked in.
Oh, that's right. You have like a light in your room, don't you? Or
Used
you used
to.
to? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
your older place.
Yeah. And I was real bad about that and have like not like, you know, I don't want to overplay my depression, but because it really was like manageable. But yeah, in the
Depression's
wintertime,
depression though, bro.
Right.
If you deal with it, it's
Bro,
not
even
easy.
Tony Soprano has depression.
I understand what y'all are saying.
We're
But-
all watching Sopranos right now
But-
at the same time. So it's like our biggest thing.
Yeah.
No, but in the wintertime, I would just like hit this lull of like because I would go to work, the sun's not out.
Well,
I'd
plus
leave
you're
work,
not
the
getting to
sun's not out.
surf.
Yeah,
which
all that
is-
stuff. But with this job that I have now, like this hadn't happened. So
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Is like, I wonder if it's because you're outside all the
Yeah.
time now,
every day.
So you're still
And-
getting some sun. Like, you know, the sun is it's
Right.
still out. You're still getting the UVs and you know the vitamin
Well,
D's.
yeah, no.
and-
The problem was that I would go to work and the sun wouldn't be out, and I would stay inside all day, and then I'd
Yeah.
leave work and the sun wouldn't be out, so I would
Mm-hmm.
never feel it. And
Yeah.
but I think what it did, it was just what it did, it would exaggerate the feelings that I was already feeling. So
Totally.
I wasn't really happy with, I was just kind of going through the motions. And in the summertime, I had all these hobbies and stuff to do. So it was like, whatever, you know, I'm working for my hobbies.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the wintertime, when all that dries up, it's like, what am I doing?
He's really underplaying it too, man. Like, you know, because we've been doing full disclosure once a week. With his last job, I had to talk him out of quitting like 25 times. Like, he was like, you know, and then boom, this new job just appears for you too, out of the blue. And
Yeah, all that stuff just kind of
just went away.
Like, I have never felt as lost and broken as I did in my work from home job. Like, cut off from the world. It was, and I didn't realize how miserable I was.
Hold up.
Oh, bro, what?
Who said he's an emotional dungeon? That shit was drama, bro. that was like that was like
But it's taken me months to figure that out.
Alex, you're spitting facts right now. This is some shit that like more people go through than you think. And just to put it into perspective, I have lived a large chunk of my life like that. Like not even knowing that something was wrong.
Yeah.
And that I was like isolating myself in certain ways and shit. Like there is no downplaying that, as you said. Like that is hard.
Yeah.
To fucking go through.
Honestly, the only good thing that came out of that was we got a puppy and I was able to be home for a year training this dog. And
She's the best too.
She's the best.
Love that dog.
And now she's like good. Like, I can go to work. She's fine. When we get home, she take her out. Like, she's all
Do you remember
good.
when he first got her? He would be like, "I gotta go home."
yeah.
No,
Couldn't be here for like 2
seriously.
more hours
No,
or whatever. And
no.
I gotta go.
Yeah.
My baby girl.
She's a sweetheart, little Juno.
Well, she ain't little no more, man.
No, she's big.
huge.
She's a big girl.
She's what, like 80 pounds?
Nah, she's 50.
Oh, well, I mean,
She's 50 pounds,
She's 52 pounds.
bro,
and the
get-
vet said we need to get those 2 pounds off her.
bro. My brother got an XL bully puppy recently. It is
3 months old.
is
and
it
50
Athena
pounds.
or Zeus or what's the name?
Zeus.
Zeus.
We have My parents have a dog named Athena.
Right, the poodle.
And now
Yeah.
Oh, and Jonah just got a golden retriever named Draco.
Nice.
But Zeus, my brother's dog is 4 months old, 4.5 months old, and he's 50 pounds. He weighs as much as Juno,
Yeah.
and he's 4 months old. He's a little turd, dude. He's like a truck, like a little truck. It's so crazy. That dog is gonna be massive.
Did you say a turd?
Yeah, a turd. He just looks like a little turd, like a little saggy little turd.
What are you eating, bro?
Have you eaten? Have you ever seen a bully puppy?
No.
They're like little Tootsie Rolls. They're like little like. It's honestly like
We
just like
keep going with this brown theme, man. I'm worried.
it's like it's like a potato sack.
Yeah.
Like a little sack of potato. Like
Oh,
a
that's
little-
funny. Our groomer picked the dog up and said, come on, you sack of potatoes. Because she hates being there and is like dead weight, like will not comply.
Juno?
Yeah, she's my girl.
Y'all want to hear something really unfathomable?
Yes.
Delilah weighs more than Odin now.
Oh, I believe
I took
that.
her to the vet last week.
Oh my gosh.
She weighs
what's the number?
it's like 0.1 pounds. But their
Wait,
whole
wait, no.
oh, like the total number?
Yeah, how about
Like 13 and 13.5 and then like 13.68. But like for years, I mean, they're 5 years old now. She was always like 2 pounds
yeah.
lighter and smaller. And she still looks smaller.
Yeah. It's funny because Odin is a bigger cat.
He's bigger.
He is just bigger.
But he's not heavier.
Yeah, yeah. He has like a bigger frame and everything.
Yeah.
And Delilah is like a particularly small
She's
cat.
petite. Yeah.
But she been eating.
She don't play fetch no more.
She been and my cat Sugar Bear is the combination of those two things. He's the big frame and that boy eats. He's 19 pounds.
Oh my God, dude.
He's so big.
The vet told me when I got her weighed last week at the vet, she said, "Oh yeah, man, I was like, I'll help you with the crate if it's too heavy, you know?" And she said, "Oh, no. Last week I had a 38-pound cat." And I was like, "Was it a Maine Coon?" She's like, "No."
What?
That cat's wider than
She said
it was
about broke her
long.
back picking it up in the crate.
Dude, what? A 40-pound cat?
Not even a Maine Coon, just a
Get
regular
a dog at that
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
What are you doing?
I'd be naming that Jelly Roll.
I mean, I've seen some big-ass Maine Coons that, like, you see it and you're like, oh, yeah, that's a
On
40.
average, they're like 30 pounds.
Yeah, they're huge. But anyway, to bring this whole story
Off
to
the cat tangent.
yeah. Basically, it's been a very difficult, hard time, but the sun is coming out. The sun is finally coming out and breaking through the clouds, and now we're in the home stretch. I am gonna be here for the next 2 weeks working, and then after that 2 weeks, we'll be in a new apartment in Wilmington, boy.
You know
I'm
what's
here.
wild?
I'm here. You know how many times we've talked on this show about when I get to Wilmington, when Nick comes to Wilmington.
Since the first episodes.
Bro,
For 3 years, we've been saying eventually he'll get to move here someday.
it's a wrap. I'm here.
And like it just happened and we didn't even expect it. It was just like
No.
an act of desperation. Just you sent out your resume,
Yeah.
first interview, second interview. Oh shoot, I got the job. Oh shoot, I need a place to stay. They
Yeah.
want me to work early. Oh God, you've already toured so many apartments. Like it's here,
Yeah. I mean,
and we're still processing it.
yeah, I know, dude. It has been the wildest ride. While it has been the hardest, most like dark point maybe in my entire life, it has also been the most exciting. And now all of the positivity is coming. And now in just a couple of weeks, it's going to be nothing but rainbows and sunshine.
It's like they say, man, pressure makes diamonds.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
Nature loves courage.
Yes, I'm learning that.
Or like alchemy, you put the fire to the lead and then it becomes gold. It's a metaphor for this.
It's like we've talked about this kind of stuff on the show before, but I never had the experience in my own life to understand what it meant.
Right.
And now I feel I'm learning that right now. I'm learning what that means. I feel I'm also learning what masculine energy means through this whole experience.
Hell yeah.
Like the masculinity, like we've talked about on the show, like anyone in the world can have masculine and feminine energy. In fact, it's like really a great practice to try and have equal parts of both. The masculine energy is the drive.
Right.
It's like the
action.
fiery passion and the action,
action.
And the like, yeah, the putting one foot in front of the other and like in the
Accomplishing.
yeah.
That's what I was going to kind of tap into that when you were talking about, finishing things and the show being one of those things and the EP being one of those things.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's what we as a species, human beings, are hardwired to do.
Yeah.
Is to accomplish, is to build, is to create and finish and follow through. And it's like, that's got to be why it feels so good.
Yeah,
It's like, yes, you're at the
Yeah.
top of the mountain.
Yeah.
And you can do it again. There's more mountains. Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep climbing. Get higher.
No, I'm excited. Get higher and higher, brother.
No, I mean we kind of went
brother.
off. We went on a tangent about this on full disclosure.
Really?
Yeah, we
2
did
weeks ago
a
or
few weeks ago.
something.
Yeah,
They've become motivational pep talks.
just
That's
I
awesome.
mean, just like
That's fucking
yeah,
great.
the concept of like, don't sit around there and complain about your miserable situation. Like, fix
it.
It's not that easy, but like
Yeah,
you
it's
can
not.
do it.
It's
Yeah,
not easy.
It's not easy at all. And like the best advice that I think that I could give to somebody who's going through something similar or feeling a similar way is like, try and separate your mind from your body. Because if you can make that separation, and if you can like trick yourself into, if you can trick your body into ignoring all of the wild negative shit that's going on in your mind, and like just your body just put one foot in front of the other anyway, even in the against the odds of all of this negative self-talk and all of this doubt and shit, if you can just make your body do it anyway, it'll still happen. You'll still get the good stuff. You'll still get the payoff.
it's like we are rewarded by God for our courage, because to act in the faith or in the face of like, you know, being so scared or so like I'm doubtful, whatever, it's faith. Like to still go forward is like a test of faith.
Yeah.
And to succeed that test, I do believe you're rewarded.
I agree, and I have like been praying for the first time in years and years and years and years and years. It was that, like, you know, the religious trauma and the stuff like that. I talked about it recently, maybe
On
even
the
on
recent
the last
time we recorded, yeah.
but like,
Can I ask you a personal question?
please,
Not to cut you off.
please, no.
How do you pray?
All right, that's really interesting because at first, when I started trying to pray again, I was praying in a very different, like, new way where it almost kind of just felt like affirmations or something
Right.
to that effect. But
That's a lot of my prayer.
Really?
To be honest with you, yeah.
Yeah. I found in this through this like really dark time that I've been going through, I just found myself naturally praying the way that I used to when I was a kid, you know, and like I think that was a big step for me because praying as a kid sometimes felt so transactional,
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
you know?
Yeah.
And it almost
Like, save me, I'm sorry.
yes, it was always
I'll do it. Save me.
asking for things and apologizing.
Right.
And it always I felt bad doing it.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry to ask. I'm sorry, you know, like, but I really, you know, and I had a negative emotion with it, which is probably why I was trying to like change the way that I was praying or whatever. But I kind of, again, this was a thing where my mind and my body didn't match up. My mind didn't want to pray that way because of the trauma, but my body just did it. I just prayed that way, and I felt it comfort me. You know, I actually felt it comfort me, and every time I did it, I almost immediately got what I was asking for. Almost immediately.
It's because you surrendered to the higher power.
And I told the higher power that I when I pray, I refer to it as God. Sometimes I switch it up. I use whatever term I'm feeling in that moment, like, honestly. But the default is just God because that's what I grew up knowing.
Yeah.
You know.
So
but
when you were praying, was it God, I want this, or was it like I am struggling here, help me?
yeah, so it was really like, if I can try to remember exactly, it was like God, like I'm at my wit's end. Like, I can't do it. I can't do this anymore. Like, I can't go through this anymore, and I need your help. I need you to step in. I know that you can perform miracles. You can do anything that I ask of you. So I am going, and I said this almost every time, like, I am going to take this off of myself, and I have to give it to you. Like, I need you to take this from me. Like, I would even like, I would literally talk as if I was talking to a person standing in front of me. I would say things like, I was scared of you for a long time. Like, I was afraid of you. And like, you know, I don't know what our relationship is like. And, you know, things like that. But I know that you're real in a capacity I can't even fathom. And I know that you can give me what I need. And I have no other choice but to just believe that.
You humbled yourself.
I did. I fully did.
That's how it works. That's how it works with the phenomenon.
Well, it's all the same.
Exactly.
It's exactly.
Exactly.
It's all the same shit.
It's all God.
They're not. Yeah. These are not separate things.
Exactly.
Like you know, never get that twisted. Like it is all one thing.
Yeah. It's God.
It's God.
And,
yeah.
And that's
it's
exactly
God.
how it works. You humble yourself.
Yeah.
And, you know, we have this I say I can't speak for everybody, but people have this like chip on their shoulder, like, oh, you know, I can do it on my own. Well, really, no, you can't. And once you realize that, then you can do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like,
and you give it up. You offer it up.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. No, that's a huge part of it. I was just at the bottom, and I just had to like say, and then when it worked, I would do it again, and I would say, all right, well, I every time it was like, thank you, God, 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 like just profusely, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then the next time that something else came up and I needed something, I would just say, God, you got me this far. You got me this far. And so I'm just gonna keep believing that
keep going,
that you'll keep carrying me through this, and that this wasn't for no reason. I know now that this is not just some bullshit. Like, this isn't a coincidence. This isn't like every time I've asked, you've given me what I asked for, and I'm just gonna keep. I need this, please. I give it to you.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to dig in, because I had a feeling it was that exactly. So thank you for.
That's how my daddy taught me to pray.
Yeah,
that's how my daddy taught me. That's how
the
he
definition of faith.
Yeah.
People think it's like, oh, it's just about like, you know,
believe that God exists. No.
It's deeper than that.
No, yeah,
It's believing that there is a purpose and there is a plan and there's an order to things. And even though you're worried and you're stressed and you're freaked out, you keep going.
And guess what?
You rely on that invisible force. That's faith.
Yeah. The disconnection from that is hell.
Yeah, honestly.
Because
suffering.
The darkest points in my life is when I didn't believe that.
Right.
When I didn't believe that there was a purpose.
Same for me, dude. Anytime I've ever suffered in life or worried about the future or like impending doom in my life.
And even like, you know, even in the Bible, it says like hell is separation from God. You know,
I was going to say that exactly, because
hell's not a place.
Every time I think about a scenario where it's been suffering, like disconnected is the theme.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's like, what am I feeling disconnected from? Because it's like nothing changes in your interpersonal relationships. You're just suffering because you're disconnected from the divine spark. Like,
you lost it.
But it's not irreparable.
No,
it's the opposite. You know,
it's very repairable.
It's limitless.
Yeah.
And this is why God's finger is in the painting in the Sistine Chapel, right? Or the top of the ceiling or whatever.
Yeah.
The
Sistine
painting,
Chapel.
God's finger is fully extended out.
Yep.
And Adam's finger
just
is
barely
out there.
That's
because
all
you have to do is.
What does it say? The faith the size of a mustard seed.
You can move a mountain. Yeah. It's a metaphor for this.
I am literally learning it firsthand right now. Like, honestly, probably for the first time in my life.
Hey, congratulations on moving your mountain, brother.
Yeah, honestly.
Well, genuinely thank you for that, because at times it absolutely has felt like a massive immovable mountain. And it was only the times that I connected with like the source that the mountain moved.
Yeah.
Like, truly, like, it's real. It's absolutely 100% real. And yeah, if you feel like you lost that like connection in some way or another, like, it might sound a little weird at first, but if you're having a hard time reconnecting, fake it till you make it. Just say it.
Yeah.
Just say it. Like, just.
What do you have to lose?
What do you have to lose? Just try. Just try. Because, like, I felt silly doing it again for the first time. Like, this is weird. I don't know. It was all that weird religious trauma and all that shit. And, like, you know, I don't know. Because my opinions about the Christian God or my opinions about this God or the other or whatever, you know, I just felt weird. And then I was like, you know what? Fuck that. Like, I grew up. My dad taught me to pray to God, and he taught me how to pray to God. And so, like, I'm going to ignore what these religions tell me about God and all this stuff. I'm just going to believe in the one real thing that's out there that encompasses all of these religions and all of these mystery traditions and all of this phenomenon, and it's all the same thing. So it doesn't matter what I call it. It doesn't matter how I connect to it. It doesn't matter.
That is exactly what I mean when I say, when you label me, you've lost me.
Right.
That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Forget all these labels and all. I like Kwang Shin. I like,
you
know, Voodoo Boo Boo. Well, I just believe in God.
Yeah, but
like,
but
there
you
is
can,
something.
Yeah, call it whatever. Call it whatever feels right to you.
Connect to, it's real.
Yeah.
It's actually there.
However, whatever feels right in your heart. Like, just trust your heart. It's not going to steer you wrong ever in life, ever. Trust your heart, always. So whatever your heart is telling you to call that thing, call it that. And however your heart is telling you to communicate with that source, follow that. If it's God, if it's Allah, if it's Buddha, if it's the universe, if it's whatever, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You call it whatever. And just connect.
And do the things that you feel the most connection doing.
Yes, that's it. That's 100% it. Like, whatever feels right, whatever feels like.
But it's so weird, like, talking about this, because what is it? Do what thou wilt.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's such a fine line there.
Mm.
You know,
It's
not really. It's not like, if you understand it, it's very different. Like, if you're doing things that imitate prayer and meditation that bring you closer to this connection, is not doing what thou wilt. You know, it's just it's something that I struggle with. I guess I'm kind of projecting here. I don't know.
Struggle with in what way?
The separation
from
in
God?
my mind. No, the separation between the dark side of do what thou wilt and doing what pleases you and brings light to your life. And doing what you want, but in a right-hand path,
you know,
connected type of way.
It is a fine line, because, you know, being addicted to Debbie cakes and getting diabetes could please you.
Right.
But that doesn't mean it's good for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's,
right.
You know, I think, like, the true path to God is, like you said, the right-hand path. It's like, there has to be a level of mastery. I don't mean you got to be freaking Buddha, but you have to walk the narrow path. You have to be like of the light, you know, being good to people, kind. You know, it's not just like, woo, we do whatever we want. You know?
That's hedonism.
Exactly.
That's a whole different thing. That's like debaucherism. Like, it's a complete. And I think that the difference there is that, because, you know, those people who live hedonistic, like, that's very much an Aleister Crowley type thing, like hedonism, you know. But the way they could say, like, oh, well, I'm just following my heart. That's what my heart is telling me to do. So here's the difference, though. Maybe it's that you have to calibrate your heart first.
And then the other devil's advocate to that is like, well, follow your heart. Okay, well, what about all my old, you know, Pentecostal relatives who are following their heart? And
right,
you know what I mean? Like, there's a way here. What about, you know, a Muslim or a Jewish person or a Christian who are following their hearts and judging the other one?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
But you know what? Think about this, man. I don't know. It takes a level of self-awareness.
Yes.
But, like, even those people, like, I've been that type of person before.
Same.
Like, if you're in an exoteric religion, you've probably experienced that firsthand.
You feel some type of way about the other ones.
But doesn't it also feel bad? Like, doesn't it also feel kind of bad on the inside?
Like, what you're saying is,
you know,
like,
you're
hating.
Wrong.
Right?
Yes.
You know you're hating, and
yes.
you know that hate is wrong, and there is no, we don't hate, but
yes,
right.
But you're going to hell.
Yeah. But you going to hell because you like Miley Cyrus. You know what I'm saying? It's like even when you're judging someone else, you feel on the inside like shitty. You're like,
and you're hiding behind.
I used to have
Yes.
those conversations. As a Christian, being like, Mormons going to hell, Muslims going to hell. It's just what they believe. Like Christians literally, it's in the religion. Like you are going to hell unless XYZ.
Yeah.
And you know that, So naturally I was and I remember having conversations with Chris Jr. and Chris Jr. would always be like, man, it's wrong to judge. Why would you judge a Mormon?
Mm-hmm.
That's what they believe. God wouldn't want you to laugh at them and mock them. And I was like, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's almost like follow your heart, but like check in with your mind. Like keep that dialogue between your heart and your mind open. Follow your intuition. That's your heart, but make sure in following your intuition, check in with your mind to make sure that your intentions are pure.
Yeah, I think an easier way to say it is literally humble yourself.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I'm not bigger than anybody. I'm not better than them because of what I believe or what they believe. Mm-hmm. We're all trying to figure this shit out.
Yeah.
We're all trying to connect with this force. We just have different ideas about it. But all that really matters is there is a force. You know what I mean? There is an actual higher force.
Yeah.
That's exactly why, I think a lot of people confuse the word God with being a Christian word. But if you talk to a Muslim or if you talk to a Hindu, they say God.
Yeah.
God is just universal. It's just, in my mind, it's like a neutral title for whatever the supreme being is.
Yeah.
Right? That's why I'm just like, I'm all about God.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the Christian prayer.
Right. I see it that way these days too. Like I see it as just a neutral, like middle ground term. It's easy. It's,
There is a force.
Yeah.
That's all I care about.
Yeah. Yo, another thing that happened in that dark period of time is I lost a tooth. Look.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Like,
It's been so much happening at once.
It really was just like a dog pile of just thing after thing after thing after thing after thing, like up until...
I'm laughing at... I said, hey, man, texted Nick, you want to play Chivalry? He said, nah, I'm getting a tooth pulled. Oh.
Yeah, and then like a couple hours, I was in there for 4 hours,
That's
dude.
wild,
Oh,
dude.
it was horrible. And then a couple hours later, I just sent him a picture of me with my gauze in my mouth and like
smiling,
all numbed up. Yeah, it was brutal. But yeah, no, I mean, up until literally like, I don't know, less than a week ago, it has just been a nonstop barrage. Thing after thing after thing, like obstacle after obstacle after obstacle, just nonstop, over and over and over and over and over and over. And I'm not saying that it's over. There's likely to be more obstacles ahead, just getting this move done and finishing it out and getting here. But I made it this far.
Yeah.
God brought me this far.
Yep.
It wasn't for nothing.
And the timing of this is insane too, which makes me think it was written in the stars a long time ago.
Yeah.
Because we had no knowledge that you were going to be living here. But the irony of it is we literally what is today? Saturday. So 3-4 days ago, me and Jenny just accepted an offer on a house. So literally simultaneously while you're moving here, Jenny and I are going to be moving into a house, which, what does that mean? New studio. So the exact time that Nick is moving here, completely coincidental, and this literally came together in the last 3 to 4 weeks, just on a whim.
Yeah.
By the time you get settled in, we're literally going to be upgrading and building a new studio. Come on,
Brand new.
how coincidental is
And
that?
all the stuff we have in the bag for the show.
Oh, yeah.
All the stuff we have on the horizon here, everything is about to just rapidly evolve.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, which means a lot of new things for the show.
So let's talk about what we have right now.
Okay.
What we got going on, Nick? What's the Patreon all about?
Oh, yeah. I mean, go over to patreon.com/Bledsoe said so. This is a good opportunity to let people who might not know about it know. We have a Patreon. We have a lot of cool perks. You get the episodes a couple days early, which is sweet. You get our awesome Discord server, which is
it's popping.
It is the coolest.
I get a lot of messages that it's the best community in the world for this particular
I hear
niche.
people say that. I
like
legitimately-
UFO, spirituality, whatever. Like I've had people be like, "You have no clue what you guys have." Like I've been to so many different Discord communities, and they're toxic.
Yeah.
They're hateful. This shit is popping.
It is, and we do like events in our Discord all the time. Like we'll get in there and like live stream. We'll talk to people. We'll play games with our fans. Like
Speaking of Blake, shout out. He ran our Valheim server.
he did, and it just finished.
The other Wednesday night, we finally beat it. Been playing it since November.
Yeah, so we'll likely do another season of that in 6 to 12 months or something. That'll be awesome. Yeah, so we do all kinds of cool stuff with our Discord. We have a Minecraft server in seasons that we do, and we watch movies with our Discord. Sometimes we'll have like a movie night where it's like kind of mystery science theater. We all talk about the movie while we're watching it.
Yeah.
Trying out a live show event this week.
Yes, we are.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah. And then on top of all that amazing stuff, you get full disclosure, which is apparently it's becoming Ryan and Alex motivation corner,
sometimes,
which is awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's like so sick.
Yeah. I'm always just trying to inspire people to be more positive. Yeah, that's my drive with that, is trying to gas people up and give a perspective that's a little more positive. And sometimes it does turn out being that way.
That's
Yeah,
I
and
love
you
that.
Not
get-
every time.
You get to hear a lot of what Ryan's dealing with that week. It's more of a kind
or
of
what
a-
you're dealing with.
Yeah, it's more of a whatever's kind of happening is gets spilled out, and this is all at the $5 tier.
Yeah,
right now.
$5 gets you all of this stuff that we're talking about, and a new tier is coming very soon.
2 new tiers and
What?
2 new shows.
Yes,
Yeah,
but the two
lots of big plans.
yeah, the 2 shows will be on the same tier though.
Yes.
which is awesome.
Yes.
Because we're trying to give you value. You know what I'm saying? We like to
We
give you
provide-
value.
We value,
Value.
you.
Yeah, if you're going to be kind enough to support our show monetarily, we are going to make sure you get way more bang for your buck than
Yeah.
anywhere else out there.
Yeah,
We are going to give you so much content.
Everyone who is a patron, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It
Thank
is-
you.
it
Thank
is
you. Thank
greatly
you.
appreciated.
And you know what? Everyone who's not a patron, thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yes.
Everyone who's watched the show one time and left some really hateful ass negative comment, thank you very
you.
much
It's engagement.
for boosting the algorithm. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The people in some federal facility somewhere shadow banning, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Maybe not really that one, but
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a badge of honor.
So we have some very, very, very exciting things coming up. Now we won't have to like freaking bank episodes.
that's
like,
the best part.
That is honestly the best part, because it'll be like you guys will probably hear this episode in like a month. But once we get on a new recording schedule, now that I live here, freaking epic, so sick, so cool, we're going to be able to record the show like weekly.
Yeah.
And so, it might be a week late that it might be a week after we record it that you hear it.
It's just about. Sometimes it's less.
That also relieves
sick.
the pressure, because like we usually record 2 or 3 at once, and then it's like, okay, we got to do all the studying to like bang 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 3 episodes in one night. When
Yeah.
we only have 1 per week, I feel like it's going to be so much more. The pressure will be off my shoulders, because I put a lot of pressure on myself to make sure that it's like deep enough or
Yeah.
valuable enough or
Yeah.
whatever. And I'm looking forward to that, to where we can just go all in once a week.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah, I'm stoked on it. Things are going to change for the absolute better very soon.
Yeah, I want to be transparent about that. It might, because Nick's moving here, and then we probably won't even live in our new house until like May or something, you
Yeah.
know. So like it's going to be us getting into the groove of this new thing. But in the coming months, especially come summer, and then maybe like by fall, you're going to see a different product.
Definitely.
You're going to see a completely different product, and I think it's going to be better than ever.
It's like a caterpillar metamorphosizing or metamorphizing.
We about to
whatever you call it.
butterfly
We're about to
this
butterfly!
place, bro.
Grand slam, brr, 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 brr. The horn. Yeah, I can't-
I like how you explained.
I'm
that
hitting
you-
the button.
Yeah. I like how you explained you were doing a horn.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know what I'm talking about.
I didn't know
You know
what
what I'm
you were
talking about?
doing.
Yeah, no, that's
Now
what
I
I'm
know. You told me.
That's what I'm talking about.
I don't know how to make the sound, but I gave it my 100%, dude.
You did great. The sound was on point. It was this thing that I was confused about.
I was slamming the button.
You were doing like a stinky, like you're smelling something stinky. Like, that's what confused me. I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you smell it?"
I couldn't imagine what the stink would be. You know? But one more thing I want to be transparent about. There are a lot of things going on behind the scenes that are like, freaking crazy.
Big deal.
I just want to say, like, the last time that I was this hyped about stuff going on behind the scenes was maybe like April of 2020. No, before that, like February or March of 2023 when we started full disclosure.
Yeah.
And for that many months until August, I would be on there like, yo, crazy stuff's about to happen. And then boom, the History Channel came out in August, and it was something that I couldn't talk about, but like I was like, oh my God, I wish I could. But let's just say this time it's going to be at least double as hype.
At least double.
As hype.
Y'all heard this man. Don't mess with this man.
Yeah, there's some hype stuff going on, and time will tell.
Yeah, there's very, very hype stuff. I'm so stoked for it. And I'm happy that we're all just finally going to be here at the same place, living in the same place. Our energies are just constantly going to be gelling with each other all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nick.
Yes.
Outside of the podcast completely, what are you most excited about living in Wilmington?
I am excited to use this as an opportunity to be outside much more. That is probably the thing that I'm the most excited about. My first thought when I found out that, like, when I decided that I would get a new job, I was like, okay, well, listen, I've lost like 70 pounds and I need to do whatever I can to make sure that weight stays off of me. And also, like, I've learned in a year's time to love being outside. Like, I have to go outside now or I will just be not okay. And like being in the sun, I used to hate it. Now I'm obsessed with it. I love it. I want to be in the sun all the time. And so literally like the first conversation I had with my brother when I got the news that I got that job and, we were going to move to Wilmington, I was like, dude, I'm going to go longboarding. I'm going to get Alex to teach me how to surf. I'm going to go running like every morning. Like I just want to be outside as much as possible. And like, there's so much to do around here that you can do outside, like frisbee golf and like it's just the beautiful scenery and the beach. Obviously, I've never been like much of a beach guy, but it's freaking there. I'm gonna go. I love the ocean. I think the ocean is like the coolest thing in the world, but like I don't like sand. It's rough. It's coarse.
I don't
it gets
like
everywhere.
I have a feeling you're going to become a beach guy.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I can. Yeah, I already feel it.
It's a lifestyle, bro.
And, okay. and
it is, man. Just knowing, there's years where I go once that I've lived here, but it's just knowing that I can.
Right.
It's fucking.
It's like
awesome.
It's like going on a trip to some other part of the country, and you're like, yeah, I live at the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are, oh, really? Can I come visit?
Yeah.
It's nice living at the beach.
I'm
beach is full, sorry.
I'm looking forward to being out there. And also like
you got to start seeing stuff different.
I'm about to start seeing shit different, dude. I'm trying to go fishing in the ocean. I love fishing so much.
There's a pier that you can pay like $2 access for, and we can go.
Yeah.
You also might have a friend who
has a boat. Somebody I know has a boat.
Yeah, we better go out.
Take me out there, motherfucking fishing boat.
We better go out on that.
Catch a daggone trout out there, bud. Go bass fishing, buddy.
Let's go flounder gigging, Diddy.
Flounder gigging, Diddy. I'm going flounder gigging.
Yeah, I have one time. I don't feel so good about stabbing a fish to death.
Well, listen, my philosophy, as long as you eat it, you're good.
Yeah, that's true.
As long as you eat it, it's nourishing your body. I heard somewhere that like there's this Native American concept that like we have this like unspoken contract with animal kind that like they are okay with us consuming them as long as it's like a respectful transaction, honorable and respectful, and like that they're it's like this unspoken contract thing. I don't remember where I heard that.
I think the best representation of this is like that episode of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Which one?
Where they're like, remember they had the teacher who had the husband who was like the butcher dude or whatever.
Yeah.
And the teacher makes them like go out in the wilderness for a month or something like that. And by the end of the episode, they're starting to see like, oh my God, life consumes life. And like, it's the grand scheme of things. And that's a really cool episode.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's my philosophy. Like I'm okay stabbing a fish as long as I'm gonna cook it and eat it and feed others with it, you know.
Right. And I've eaten fish that I've caught. I've also sent a lot of fish back. And every time I feel bad, fight them, get them in the boat, take the picture. Thank you for that experience. Thank you for that fight, little buddy. You're going back. And then you sit there and you have to like, you kind of hold them in the water and you get them to wake up a little bit, and then they swim off. You don't just like throw them in.
No, yeah.
And then sometimes you're fighting fish, and it's usually the fish you can't eat anyway. And one time I had a fish die while we were trying to get the hook out of its mouth.
Yeah, it happens.
And so what do we do? Right, you can't eat it.
No.
Chopped it up, turn it into bait.
Fed
other fish.
There you go.
Other fish, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like that's all.
When I used to go fishing with my uncle Steve in Topsail Island, we would do that exact thing. Like we would go out at like 6 a.m. into the sound, and we would use a cast net and get shrimp, and then we pull up the shrimp, and then we'd turn the shrimp into bait, go out into the channel, and then we catch little fish with the shrimp, and then we'd get those fish and turn those fish into bait, and then we go out into he calls it the big blue. We go out to the big blue, and that's where we would catch the shit that we were going to eat.
Dude, that sounds like a real grind.
It's a grind. Oh, it's a grind. Because, like, I just explained that in 30 seconds, but that is like 8 hours.
Right.
A whole day.
That's a whole day.
Just to get to the point where you're in the ocean. Like,
let's fish now.
Yeah, exactly. Now we're really going to start fishing.
That's awesome.
Like, now you're about to catch the big shit. I watched my uncle fight a shark, like off of a pier, like fight a shark for 4 hours trying to reel it up, and then the line broke.
Dude, one of my best fights ever was a baby shark.
Baby shark.
In the intercoastal waterway.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, it was probably about 3 feet long.
Was that off a pier?
No, it was in the boat.
Oh.
And I mean, it bit and made.
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh my God.
How long were you fighting it?
Not 4 hours. Maybe 10 minutes.
That even sounds like an unfathomably long time to fight a fish.
Yeah.
And then you have to manage all the other lines you got in the water, and everybody else. Like the other person on the boat's got to reel everything in to make room for you and this fish to swim around. But I have a picture of me and a citation redfish. This redfish was 42 inches and 40 some pounds, 48
Oh
pounds.
my God, bro.
Massive fish.
That's as big as Judy.
That's as heavy as your dog.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll show you guys the picture of it. But that fight was like even better.
So I don't know if y'all remember this, but when I was growing up until I was about 10 or 11 years old, we had a house here at Carolina Beach. So we would go out fishing in the ocean a lot, or jet skis or whatever. And on my 8th birthday, my dad and my Uncle Leo took me out fishing on the boat, and I caught 8 baby sharks on my 8th birthday.
No way.
That's cool.
That's so sick.
Yep.
Do you have any like mementos or anything? Like, do you have a picture of it?
No.
Well, you know
My
what?
mom wasn't there.
It survives as an epic memory.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yep. I stopped at 8.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm looking forward to that kind of stuff. I'm also looking forward. This Wilmington has a really, really amazing art scene, and I'm really looking forward to that for Casey, my wife. Yeah. I mean, even just coming here for the past...
She belongs here, bro.
Yeah, she really... There's not much of like a poppin' art scene in Fayetteville, you know? And even just coming here the past few years, she has made so many connections with people around town that like love her work and want to sell her stuff. And like, it's just... I'm excited for her to finally have like a scene of her people, of people just like her, you know?
Are you just throwing me a picture of the fish? Throw it here. Whoa.
Wow. Butterfingers.
I didn't want to hit my mic.
Butterfingers.
Oh, dude, that's huge. Yeah.
Well, let me see. Damn, son.
What kind is that?
Redfish, bull red.
Nice.
Red drum.
Dude, I don't know if I've ever seen you look this happy.
You ever read Redfish, Bluefish?
Have you seen there's a trend where it's like my father the day I got married, or my father the day I was born, and it's just like a mild smile, and then my father catching a fish, and it's like,
yeah, that's you. That's
Yeah.
you. We'll wait until your wedding photos, and then we'll make that meme for you.
That's a big one, bro.
That's a big one.
That's a big one. You should drop that photo in the episode, man.
Yeah.
hold it up.
Yeah, just show it on the camera.
I don't know if they'll be able to see it.
Yeah.
You should drop that in, bro.
All right. I will.
All right. We love y'all. We hope you enjoyed.
Yeah, we love you guys more than you can fathom. We
than
love
you
you more than you love us. One would hope.
Okay. You went real extreme.
That might be honestly
Yeah.
tough to be honest about because they all know us, but we don't know
all
all
of
of
them.
them.
Yeah.
We know
I
like
love all of
300
them.
of
I
them.
love all of them. Every
Yeah.
last one.
I love them.
Even you.
I love you more
know
than you
who
love
I'm
yourself. I love you more than you love your mom and dad.
Okay, that's a lot. That's a lot.
I'm just throwing it out there.
It's
I
not
got a lot of
true.
love to
It's
give.
not
It's
true.
not true.
It's not true.
It's not fucking true.
It's really not.
You're
And
talking out of the side of your mouth.
But you know what is true? You know what is true though?
What?
I do love them.
Me too.
I love
I
them
love
too.
them too.
Yeah.
That's something like we all have in common.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Love you more than you love yourself.
Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more, check out our other videos.
And before you go, don't forget to subscribe. See you next week. Peace.